This week's talking point, off the back of the Alien announcement that there are some big hitters from Hollywood making an appearance in video games, made me think about what are the best and worst performances within video games.
What did you think, Alex?
What did I think? What, do you want me to start?
Well, you've been thinking.
I have been thinking. I hope you've been thinking too. So, I can think of a lot of bad ones. So, one of the first ever Hollywood stars that I interviewed for video games was Bruce Willis for a game called Apocalypse.
Was he okay with you? Like, he's got a bit of a reputation for
this
being
was a long time
very
ago.
difficult.
He turned up really, really late. So, it was when E3 was based in Atlanta, and the interview was in Planet Hollywood, which obviously he owned. I don't know if he still owns or whatever. And he was flying in from the set of somewhere, but he was late, an hour and a half late, because of something happened with Demi Moore apparently. So, but he was pleasant enough. Yeah, he was nice. But his
what was the game?
It's called Apocalypse.
Right.
And his performance. I've got a clip here, which I will attempt to play some dialogue from if I can find. Oh, come on, YouTube! Everybody moans about our video player. YouTube's way worse.
Yeah.
Never heard that before.
I'll tell you what, though, good thumbnails.
Someone do an impression of Bruce Willis.
Oh, right. That's not Bruce Willis. Thanks for clarifying.
Good impression.
He's going to talk in a minute.
Keep listening.
I had all these queued up.
Stick my foot so far up your I sentence you to death. May the Lord have mercy on your soul. Amen.
Anyway, that's a bit of Bruce Willis. Oh, that's a bit more. And it's truly, truly terrible.
Right.
And obviously, the other thing that's really, really bad. Like the problem is, oh, you'll recognise this one, Chris. Who's this?
The Hive haven't been on Earth in centuries. That wizard came from the moon.
No, he doesn't because he,
Oh, no, 'cause
he doesn't watch it.
Oh, you've seen it. You've seen some of it.
He doesn't watch it, does he? Because he always gets sad.
I don't know what anyone's talking about.
It's the most famous show in the world and you don't watch it.
TV show.
Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Yes, it's a character from Game of Thrones, but that's obviously not a Game of Thrones game.
He's won
It's an actor from Game of Thrones.
Okay.
You don't recognise his voice?
It's Peter Dinklage.
Oh, I was going to play it again. Anyway.
It's Dinkles. Right.
See, that's it.
The
Dinkles. So he was widely cussed for that performance, and he's. Let's hear it again quickly.
Okay.
That wizard came from.
The Hive haven't been on Earth in centuries. That wizard came from the moon.
It's
become a meme now, hasn't
ridiculous
it?
piece of dialogue.
Yeah.
So how
it's
can
not
you
really
deliver that with any kind of gravitas? I don't know.
I mean, he is an AI companion, so he is meant to be a little bit
Wacky.
Simple.
simple. Well, just monotonous. I guess.
Monotone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not very expressive.
Yeah.
But apparently it's been changed for the full game, which we.
He goes,
yet
the
to
wizard came from the moon!
see. Yeah.
Is Dinklage a great actor?
He's
good
very
at
good in
Tyrion.
Game of Thrones.
Yeah, I like him in Game of
He's
Thrones.
been nominated again today for the Emmy.
Is he?
Yeah.
For best
Yeah.
actor.
He's by far and away the best thing in Game of Thrones.
Okay.
That and Dragons.
But what about you guys? Good performances? Bad performances?
I mean, the Last of Us performances all round are obviously fantastic.
But is that because the people who did the VOs for that are game VO people?
Yeah, we're talking about Hollywood stars, aren't we?
But it's, well, are we talking about Hollywood stars or are we talking in general?
Well, you tell me.
I think okay. You know what? In general, then
What's this section called?
It's good. You tell me.
it's called best and worst acting performances in games.
Okay.
So yeah, I think because this thing when I interviewed Troy Baker and Nolan North at E3, that for ages we've been saying motion capture. Now the movement is performance capture. And when Nolan North said, "Yeah, I recently just went back and I did motion capture for Nathan Drake," and the PR jumped in and was like, you mean you did performance capture?" And Nolan North was like, "What the hell's the difference?" And Troy Baker was like, "Oh well, one is them kind of like actually getting your face and your body and everything, and they do it all, and he's like, and that's what it's better. So that's what we're doing now. We're doing performance."
So you think when he wears the big suit with all the ping pong balls on, that's just for VO?
Well, this is the thing.
Like Nolan turns up. We're just doing VO today in his big ping pong balls.
But I think it's to do with motion captures, obviously the bodies, but performance captures the face, all the ping pongs on that as well.
Right. But he Nolan North. I interviewed him for Uncharted 3, and he contributes so much to that character that it really is him. It's not just him putting it on.
And the amount they ad-lib
he's
is
also
insane.
brilliant as well. Like the stuff he did for Penguin in Arkham City was fantastic
Yeah.
as well. So, but again, I think that's because that's how he's learned his trade. He's become established for that. He's not a Hollywood actor that's come over and done this stuff.
Yeah.
And there hasn't been an awful lot of success there. Now, it would be interesting to see what happens with Kevin Spacey, because
Yes.
obviously we've seen some of the stuff that he's done in Advanced Warfare. And that looks very, very promising indeed. And that's a proper...
It looks House of
performance.
Cards-esque though as well, which I don't know if that. Like, I mean, we know he's versatile, but that looks from the brief bit we've seen. I don't
Is
know
that a
if
bad
people-
thing?
No, but I just wonder if
everybody
people are
says it's-
latching onto it because of that. Like, it looks very like that character.
I was going to say, I don't think he is that versatile.
No.
He does one thing really well, which is just be a bit creepy.
Yeah.
Does anyone? I haven't
Bit
played
lecherous.
Beyond. I haven't played Beyond Two Souls, so I don't know about Ellen Page in that.
Again, it's just, I think she's good, but no, I don't think it's a standout performance. It's a pretty average game.
She's
to
better in
be
Last of Us, though, even though it's not actually her.
Yeah, she's great in that.
But he's really good in that.
Ashley Jenkins.
I mean, Kiefer Sutherland, right?
Yeah.
That's
I
one of
must
the big
admit,
ones.
though, when I played Ground Zeroes,
This is the-
and it wasn't
David Hayter.
I
This
was
is a weird
like,
thing,
this
because David
feels
Hayter
odd.
has made that role his own, and he's been associated with that
Yeah.
character for such a long time. To recast and go for the Hollywood star.
Yeah.
And Kiefer Sutherland does have quite a distinctive voice. Like,
Plus, if you
Yeah.
watch a lot of
what-
24, it's hard to actually get away from Jack Bauer when you hear.
Yeah, and they're
Keith
going to be
Sutherland
using,
speak
and they're
now.
going to be saying similar sort of things as
Yeah.
well as
Yeah.
the character of Snake.
But did you, when you were playing Ground Zeroes, did you think that's Kiefer Sutherland, or did after a while you just forgot about it? Because I must admit, at first it was a bit, this is a bit weird, but then it.
Well, I'm
just
not the
became
world's
natural.
biggest Metal Gear kind of obsessive. Obviously, I think it would trouble those sort of people more. But I tell you what, I did notice it in was Michael Ironside not playing Sam Fisher
Yeah.
in the most
Yeah.
recent Splinter
Yeah.
Cell, because he is that character.
Yeah.
Like, his voice is incredibly distinctive voice anyway.
Yeah.
And I think there's two questions here. One is having a distinctive, iconic voice,
Yeah.
which Michael Ironside does, and then also giving a good performance as that character.
because that's
and
the
they're two
point.
separate things.
Because
Yeah.
like the official party line in both instances there to do with Metal Gear and with Splinter Cell, when we've asked the devs, they've been like, oh, it's because we've made a shift from just, having someone motion capture and then having someone do VO
Yeah.
to doing full performance capture. So we need someone who can
A more
be
united-
embody the
more
character
united. Yeah.
and give the voiceover at the same time.
Because Michael Ironside, bless him, I love him. He's not the. I don't think he could shimmy up any kind of
Drain pipes.
anytime soon.
I'd
Not anymore.
I'd watch the extras to see that kind of stuff. That'd be
Yeah,
amazing.
he'd bring it.
But that's because like Patrick Stewart was in Oblivion. Now, obviously, Oblivion is a game that's what, I don't know, 8 years old now, so a long time ago. And in the cutscenes where he was obviously, he could probably see what was happening, and he was telling a story. He was great. But in the parts of the game where he's delivering different lines and he's reacting to it, so those lines are in isolation, it's wooden as anything.
Yeah.
So it must be tough.
I mean, the Elder Scrolls is interesting. So the Elder Scrolls Online, when that came out, the main storyline, you've got a prophet who tells you stuff, and that's Michael Gambon. And he's, at first, when I first started, I was like, oh, he's really, really good at this. But actually, he's just got quite a powerful voice and quite good intonation. And the more you go on, he's very good at faking it. Like, the entire way through Harry Potter, he's always said, didn't read the books, didn't really care about the story,
Yeah.
came in, did my scenes, and left. And, he had literally no interest in knowing anything. And he's just... he's learnt his craft on the stage and he's kind of gone through it.
Yeah.
He's very good at faking it.
Good at acting.
You can tell when Gambon's faking.
Yeah. You can tell when Cameron's faking. I've had enough time with him.
Not
Yeah.
McKellen.
No, McKellen.
Some of the great ones. Ellen McLean as GLaDOS.
Yes.
Yeah.
Great
I didn't know
delivery.
she's quite old now, I didn't realise.
Yeah, she's an American opera singer, actually. Ray Liotta as Tommy Vercetti.
I was going to say that. And also...
And there's a great example of a Hollywood star playing a character, delivering a great performance, but also the video game character in some way alluding to the actor and their previous roles.
Yeah.
So it's you're kind of tapping into something there. You're tapping into Goodfellas, but also by association, kind of American crime films. Scarface.
Well, I saw this week we had an interview on the site with Michael Madsen, who's in the most recent Walking
Yes.
Dead game. And you know what you're getting when you cast Michael Madsen in a
Yeah.
role. That guy does one thing again, and he does it really well. Tough guys.
But Samuel L. Jackson was a police officer in GTA San Andreas. Very
was
good in
indeed.
that.
But I think there's one conspicuous person we're not really speaking about, and it's Charles Martinez, who I think is a very studied, very mannered performance of an Italian-American plumber. And when he says, let's go, I, for one, believe him.
Yeah.
Like, I he commits to that in a way like very few performers do. And
Would you like to see
I
him,
just think it's
would
outstanding
you like
work.
to see him in Hollywood?
No, but it's interesting the way that it's progressed over the years between different games. You can definitely like chart threads, and he's brought out different aspects to the character. Like sometimes he wants to go, sometimes he wants you to join him, and
I can't tell if you're being serious or not.
He's not.
I'm
No,
very
I
much.
didn't think so.
I am.
Didn't Andy Serkis, was it Enslaved the game?
Enslaved,
that he
yes.
did?
Yeah.
No, Heavenly Sword. No, it was Heavenly Sword. He was.
He was in
He was
Enslaved as well.
Oh well, he was.
He was involved in the making of Enslaved, I think, as well.
And it's-
what was he
Heavenly
like?
Sword,
'Cause
he was the director. The cutscene
It's Alex
director.
Garland, the Enslaved project as well.
Isn't he? But he's obviously the king of celluloid performance capture. So how was he on game? Like,
He in Heavenly Sword when he started, he was a bit. I didn't think it was great.
Well, the bigger problem with Heavenly Sword, I thought, was that the story wasn't very good.
Mm.
So it's tough when you've got that kind of gig. But
I really-
so he did a lot of the motion capture
Mhm.
for Heavenly Sword, but I think it was more performance capture for Enslaved, if I remember rightly.
it's interesting. Well, you're starting to get actors now that are not just Andy Serkis that are specialising in performance capture. So Toby Kebbell is
as Cobra.
as Koba the
Who's
ape,
amazing.
in Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. You've seen it, I haven't yet, but
Yeah.
he's brilliant. Apparently, he's gone straight from that to Warcraft,
Right.
where it's a performance capture performance, and so it'd be interesting to see if he then does a game down the line
I
because
think
Yeah.
Dawn's a great example, and we're going to go see it this week. I saw it last week, and obviously when you watched Avatar, that's performance capture, but they're kind of humanoid creatures. They
Yeah.
kind of look like humans. Obviously chimps look like humans, but they're more animal. And I think in Dawn you realise how good performance capture is now, because you're looking at a chimpanzee, but you're seeing subtleties of emotion and intention and proper acting where they're not saying anything, but you know from looking at his eyes and a glance and body language
Yeah.
what his intentions are, that they have an ulterior motive. And that's like one of the most amazing things. There's lots of amazing things about that film, but that's really like it's really come of age.
can't wait.
There you go.
No, I've taught that one way too much. It's just got monkeys in it. It doesn't have monkeys in it.
So, listeners, you should let us know which are your favourite and your least favourite
There is one more.
performances in video
There's
games.
Matthew Perry, right?
There is Matthew Perry, but we'll have to save that for another day because
Okay.
we are running out of time.
Okay, fine. But
Readers, you can contact us, IGN_UK feedback at IGN.com.